Thank you so much for joining me on this special day. Today is my birthday. Hello, book friends, welcome back. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. I am super excited for today. This is the day that I have taken my 56th time around the sun, all right? I am so super excited. I'm grateful and I'm thankful. Guys, you don't know my story, okay? Today, I just wanted to share with you guys some books that I'm gonna recommend a few books for the winter season. And then there are a handful of books that I would like to get to this winter. And I thought that I would just share those with you, and maybe you'd like to look into possibly reading some of them too. Some are very familiar. You've probably seen them who knows how many times already. And then I have some that you may have never seen, okay? So I think I'm going to start with 3 books. Now, I'm sure I have more. I'm sure I have more. But just to make sure this video isn't too long, I'm going to share with you 3 books that I at least gave a 4-star that have to do with either the winter season or Christmas. And that's for all of these books. Most of them are seasonal that I'm going to share. And some of them, like I said, actually have Christmas in it. With that being said, I am going to start with One Day in December by Josie Silver. Our main female character in here, her name is Lori. And she is on the bus stop one day, and she looks in the bus window and she sees this guy, and they I guess they lock eyes or what have you, and instantly she's in love with this guy. It's something about him. And she spends, I believe, if I can remember, because I read this last December this time. So, and I'm going by what I can remember. She spends, I think it was like a year or something, going to this bus stop and trying to find this guy again. And unfortunately, you know, she spends all that time and she never sees this guy on the bus again. And so her friend, I think her name was Sarah or something like that, she's having this Christmas party, okay? And she wants her to come and, you know, just come and celebrate the season. And she wants her to meet her new boyfriend, okay? So Lori goes to the party, and lo and beholden, she finds out that her friend Sarah is dating the very guy that she has been in search of. So the frustrating part, and I guess I can share that because I think it's in the synopsis too, I'm pretty sure it is. They start hanging out, you know, trio, you know, hanging out or what have you. And because this is Sarah's boyfriend, Lori never expresses that, because Sarah knew that Lori was looking for this guy, you know, and so she never expresses to Sarah that, gosh, friend, the very guy that you're dating is the guy that I've been looking for. And I kind of can see why she didn't say anything, because it's like, well, it's too late. It is too late. Your friend dating him now. We're not going to cross that line. Okay, but at the same time, it's got to be very awkward to be hanging out with a guy that, you know, you fell in love with. So that's pretty much the premise of the story. I think it's within a 10-year span or something. I know it was a crazy number. I can't quite remember, that she's hanging with them and they doing all the things and going on with life and all of these things. And then that's that. So you're going to be able to read about what that relationship looked like, the heartbreak, all of the things in this story. And I really enjoyed it. The next book that I have is a thriller. Now, I know everybody says this on their videos because I watch a lot of people. And you have your Frida McFadden fans, and then you have some that just can't stand her, okay? I, for one, I love some Frida. Frida, I mean, you just take it for what it is. You already know her. If you're familiar with her writing, you're going to have those aggravating characters. Some, you know, you're going to have all the things. You're going to have those things that just don't make sense. And that's what keeps me coming back. That's what keeps me coming back. We know it's fictional. You know, her writing is not something I feel like you could ever take serious. Okay. So with that being said, I recommend Never Lie by Frida McFadden, mainly because this story takes place during a snowstorm. Okay, so you have your main female character by the name of Trisha, and then her fiance's name is Ethan, and you know, they decide that they want to purchase some property that's out in somewhere, you know, somewhere out there. And it's the manor. It's called a manor. They call it the manor. And this house was owned by a psychiatrist who disappeared. So they, you know, hit the road and they get out here and to go see this house right away, and they get stranded pretty much. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with one of those, you know, locked in kind of themes or whatnot. And part that frustrates a lot of people is, didn't y'all know the storm was coming, child? Like, you could have waited. You could have waited. I'm pretty sure anybody else that wanted to see that house was like, maybe next week. But once again, that's Frida. You know, some stuff just don't make sense. But anyway, so they get in this house, and they start finding out some crazy stuff is happening. And there are some tapes that I believe Trisha found them. In those tapes, she's starting to find out some crazy stuff about this doctor that disappeared. Okay? Just freaking her out. And pretty much that is the premise of this story. Each tape is just giving her a clue more and more, and it just gets scary. And I really enjoyed this book. It's twisting and turning. Okay, so if you're looking for a thriller that's taking place in the winter storm, this is gonna be it. This is one of them. This is gonna be it. All right, friends. And then the last book that I read, this is a romance, and this is In the Holidays by Christina Lauren. And I really enjoyed this book as well. This is more of this is a romance. It's a little different. I'm going to read the synopsis. It's the most wonderful time of the year. but not for Maylin Jones. She's living with her parents, hates her going nowhere job, and has just made a romantic error of epic proportions. But perhaps worst of all, this is the last Christmas May will be at her favorite place in the world, the snowy Utah cabin, where she and her family have spent the holidays every year since she was born, along with her two other beloved families. Mentally melting down as she drives away from the cabin for the final time, May throws out what she thinks is a simple plea to the universe. Please show me what will make me happy. That's what it was. Okay. The next thing she knows, tires screech and medical eyes, everything goes black. But when May gasps awake, she is on an airplane bound for Utah, where she begins the same holiday all over again, with one hilarious disaster after another sending her back to the plane. May must figure out how to break free of the strange time loop and finally get her true love under the mistletoe. All right. Now I remember. I probably should have read this before. But there's the synopsis of this book. Like I said, I enjoyed it. It still is a good read, and I recommend it. These next set of books are books that I want to read, hopefully, sometimes during the winter months. Now, we have a few here that are, around the Christmas theme. And then the rest of them are basically winter season, like cold season reads. So the first book that I want to start with is Mistletoe by Zaria Banks. I did mention this book before in another video. This is an indie author, and I am so excited about reading this. This is a novella. I believe is less than 100 pages. Just about, yeah. And so far I've loved all of her books. And so look at the cover, y'all. Look at the cover. Isn't it cute? It is so cute. So I'm anxious to jump into this one. I'm sure I can read this, within an hour. This is a really short read. I'm really hoping already that there is probably going to be more to this. We shall see. I'm going to read the synopsis for this one. It says, Maya Rees, I believe, or Reyes, an ambitious interior designer, has recently returned home and is ready for a fresh start and a new beginning. But nothing could prepare her for Preston Gomez, a charming tow truck company owner who stirs feelings she hasn't experienced in years. Maya knows the dangers of opening her heart, especially after a few romantic setbacks. Preston has worked tirelessly to build his business and leave his past behind. Meeting Maya reminds him of everything he's been missing, a woman who gets his hustle, his passion, and his dreams. But past wounds, misunderstandings, and professional challenges threaten their new romance. To make it through, they need holiday magic, courage, and trust. Oh my gosh, this sounds like it's going to be so good. Filled with hot cocoa, glistening snowflakes, and the warmth of Christmas in Brooklyn. Mistletoe is a heartwarming journey of second chances, unexpected love, and the courage to trust. Cozy up and discover Maya and Preston's journey, finding hope, love, and connection, all beneath the sparkling mistletoe. Y'all, this sounds like it's going to be good. I can't wait to tell y'all about it. This next book, friends, I remember that I picked this up, I believe it was earlier this summer, from the dollar store. And it was the cover. It was definitely a cover buy. And it's a Christmas story. So I already was thinking, you know what? For $1.25, let me grab this. And then when Christmas season roll around, I'll have something Christmassy on my TBR. Rainbow Rowell is the author, and Landline is the name of the book. Okay. Let's see. It is a second chance romance. So let's see here. 15 years ago on Christmas Day, Georgie McCool's boyfriend drove halfway across the country to propose to her. This Christmas, he headed in the other direction. Should Georgia follow him? Should she call and beg him to come back? Something very strange happens every time she picks up the phone. Wow. Here we go again with the groundhog type thing going on. All right. Rowell. Yeah, that's it. Actually, that's all it gives you. That's all it gives you, which is cool with me. I don't mind going into a book blind. This is a new author. I've never read anything, nor let alone heard of this author before. But it seems like it's going to be kind of cute. So hopefully I'll get to this during this Christmas season. This next book I also got from the dollar store. And it is called The Summer of Christmas by Juliet Giglio and Keith Giglio. This is a husband and a wife duo. I actually had started trying to read this book during the summer because it said summer, and I wasn't feeling it. So I didn't want to get rid of the book because it has Christmas, even though it's not actually Christmas. I still thought maybe this would be the time to, go ahead and try to read it. And let me go ahead and read the synopsis for you guys. Ivy Green receives the opportunity of a lifetime when her screenplay, based on her first love, her high school sweetheart who broke up with her 5 years ago, just days before Christmas, is chosen to be made into a movie. She can't wait to get on set, but that's not the only reason for the butterflies in her stomach. Turns out the producer wants to film in her hometown in the middle of summer. The production crew creates a winter wonderland as the locals jump at the chance to join in the movie magic. Now back home, Ivy is forced to face her ex, Nick Shepard, for the first time since their breakup. But in case it wasn't complicated enough, Nick's budding relationship with the actress cast in Ivy's role stirs up old feelings by Nick and Ivy alike. With a town full of adoring fans and glamorous movie stars, Ivy tries to push her emotions away and focus on making her movie. But how can she ignore the love story that's playing out right before her eyes? All right. So it sounds like this is definitely a second chance romance. And we shall see. Sounds like it could be pretty good. Now, Tessa Bailey. I think I tried to read, and I can't even remember what book it was that I tried to read of Tessa Bailey. And I know, I believe she tends to be a little bit too spicy for my taste. But I thought that I would get window shopping because it was a smaller romance. And once again, it's Christmassy. And I just thought maybe I'd pick this one up and see, if I could get through it. But I thought I would at least give this a try in hopes to it being just that, a romance. Let's see. 2 weeks before Christmas, and all through Manhattan, shop windows are decorated in red and green satin. Stella is standing alone outside a famous department store with a charming man asks her opinion on the decor. It's a tragedy and tinsel, she says, unable to lie. Then he asks for a better idea with a twinkle in his eye. She didn't know he owned the place when he put her on the spot, and now she's working for that man, trying to ignore that he's hot. Oh, I just realized that was rhyming. But as a down-on-her-luck girl with a difficult past, Stella knows how to make a good opportunity last. So she gives it her all, working without stopping, trying to resist temptation because she's just window shopping. Oh, isn't that cute? She made the synopsis rhyme, okay? Yeah, it sounds like it may be a little steamy Christmas story. We shall see. This next book that I have now, this is an older book, and I got this out of Goodwill. So I literally paid maybe $1 for this book, and it was definitely a cover buy because I don't know any of the authors on here. So it's 3 authors on here, but it's called Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle. And it was a Netflix movie, or is a Netflix movie. I actually might try to find this movie. Yeah, 3 holiday romances. So this is a romance book. All ill-timed storm on Christmas Eve buries the residents of Gracetown under multiple feet of snow and causes quite a bit of chaos. One brave soul ventures out into the storm from her stranded train and sets off a chain of events that will change quite a few lives. Over the next 3 days, one girl takes a risky shortcut with an adorable stranger. 3 friends set out to win a race to the Waffle House, and the hash brown spoils, and the fate of a teacup pig falls into the hands of a lovesick barista. So it sounds like something fun, not too serious. And like I said, it was a cover buy for me. I got it from Goodwill. It may or may not be something good for Christmas, but I have it, okay? This next book that I have, and I think this is the last romance book, is The Favorites by Lane Fargo. Okay? Everybody and their mama have read this book. I think I saw it all summer long. I really enjoy Lane Fargo. I know that it has something to do with ice skating, which gives me those wintry vibes. Okay? And I'm going to read the synopsis to this because I'm not familiar with it. She might not have a famous name, funding, or family support, but Katrina Shaw has always known that she was destined to become an Olympic skater. When she meets Heath Roca, a lonely kid stuck in the foster care system, their instant connection makes them a formidable duo on the ice, clinging to skating and each other to escape their turbulent lives. Kate and Heath go from childhood sweethearts to champion ice dancers, captivating the world with their scorching chemistry, rebellious style, and roller coaster relationships. Until a shocking incident at the Olympic Games brings their partnership to a sudden end. As the 10-year anniversary of their final skate approaches, an unauthorized documentary reignites the public fascination with Shaw and Roca, claiming to uncover the real story. Through interviews with their closest friends and fierce rivals, Kat wants nothing to do with the documentary, but she can't stand the thought of someone else defining her legacy. So after a decade of silence, she's telling her story, from the childhood tragedies that created her all-consuming bond with Heath to the clash of desires that tore them apart. Seasonal rumors have taunted their every step for years, but the truth may be even more shocking than the headlines. Okay. Sounds like it's going to be good. It sounds like it's going to be good, y'all. The next set of books are thrillers, as I had said, and I'm really excited about this one, Christmas Presents by Lisa Unger. Now, this one is giving me all the Christmas vibe. Let's see here. Against all odds, indie bookshop owner Madeline Martin has built a pleasant life for herself, overcoming a traumatic childhood and the daily struggle of caring for elderly and for her elderly and infirm father. But in the days leading up to Christmas, Madeline's tenuous grasp on happiness is tested by the arrival of a celebrity true crime podcaster, Harley Granger, a man whose probed questions about most painful memories threaten to bring them back to the surface. Madeline is the only surviving victim of Evan Handy, the serial killer convicted for the murder of her best friend and suspected in several other disappearances. Since Handy went to jail, 3 more young women have gone missing, suggesting either that there is a copycat at work or that the authorities locked up the wrong man. As the holiday approaches and a blizzard bears down, Madeline and her childhood friend Badger must confront a deadly possibility. In the process, they'll discover a truth more terrible and much closer to home than they ever imagined. Oh, wow. So, yeah, this sounds like this is going to be interesting. And I can't wait to dive into this one. Now, this next book is by my girl, okay? I love me some Sherry Lapina, okay? And Unwanted Guest. Now, that's good and wintry. That's good and wintry, okay? Let me see. Don't know much about this book. It was definitely because she is an automatic auto-buy author for me that I picked up this book. Let me just read the synopsis. It's winter in the Catskills and Mitchell's Inn. Nestled deep in the woods is the perfect setting for a relaxing, maybe even romantic weekend away. It boasts spacious old rooms with huge wood-burning fireplaces, as a well-stocked wine cellar, and opportunities for cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, or just curling up with a good murder mystery. So when the weather takes a turn for the worse and a blizzard cuts off the electricity, of course, and all contact with the outside world, the guests settle in and try to make the best of it. Soon, though, one of the guests turn up dead and it looks like an accident. But when a second guest dies, they start to panic. Oh, here we go with another locked-in type situation. Within the snow in paradise, something or someone is picking out the guests one by one. Yep, one by one trope. And there's nothing they can do but hunker down and hope they can survive the storm and one another. Sound like it's going to be real good to me. It is going to be real good. I don't feel like I can ever go wrong with Sherry Lapina. So far, you know, all of the books that I've read of hers, I've enjoyed. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy this one as well. This next book, One by One, we have another one by one situation going on. And snow vibes, nice and snowy, y'all. Nice and snowy. I believe this one is somewhat like what I just read with Sherry Lapina. Getting snowed in at a luxurious rustic ski chalet high in the French Alps doesn't sound like the worst problem in the world, especially when there's a breathtaking vista, a full-service chef and a housekeeper, a cozy fire to keep you warm, and others to keep you company. Unless that company happens to be 8 co-workers, each with something to gain, something to lose, and something to hide. When the co-founder of Snoop, a trendy London-based tech startup, organizes a week-long trip for the team in the French Alps, it starts out as a corporate retreat like any other. PowerPoint presentations and strategy sessions broken up by mandatory bonding on the slopes. But as soon as one shareholder upends the agenda by pushing a lucrative but contentious buyout offer, tensions simmer and loyalties are tested. The storm brewing inside the chalet is no match for the one brewing outside. However, a devastating avalanche leaves the group cut off from all access to the outside world. Even worse, one snooper hasn't made it back from the slopes when the avalanche hit. As each hour passes without any sign of rescue, panic mounts, the chalet grows colder, and the group dwindles farther, one by one. Yeah, this sounds like it's going to be good. And I love me some Ruth Ware, The Woman in Cabin 10, Sweet 11. I haven't read yet, but I'm sure, hoping I even get that one for Christmas, okay? But I really love Ruth Ware, and this one sounds like it's going to be good, y'all. We shall see. Last but not least, this is somewhat of it is a gothic thriller. I have not read anything by this author as of yet, but the cover is giving. The cover is definitely giving winter, and this is The Sanatorium by Sarah Peirce. And this is a thickens, y'all. Let me see. I mean, it's not too bad. It's almost 400 pages, though. But we're going to see. We're going to see if I get to that. I'm sure I'll get to it sometime this winter, okay? Half hidden by the forest and overshadowed by the threatening peaks, Le Summit? Le Summit? Has always been a sinister place, long plagued by the troubling rumors. The former abandoned sanatorium has since been renovated into a 5-star minimalist hotel. An imposing isolated getaway spot in the Swiss Alps is the last place Ellen Warner wants to be. But Ellen's taken time off from her job as a detective. So when her estranged brother Isaac and his fiancée Laura invite her to celebrate their engagement at the hotel, Ellen really has no reason not to accept. Arriving in the midst of a threatening storm, they always going in a storm. Ellen immediately feels on edge. There's something about the hotel that makes her nervous. And when they wake the following morning to discover Lori is missing, Ellen must trust her instincts if they hope to find her. With the storm closing off all access to the hotel, the longer Laura stays missing, the more the remaining guests start to panic. Ellen is under pressure to find Laura, but no one has yet realized that another woman has gone missing, and she's the only one who could have warned them just how much danger they're all in. Ooh, this sounds like it's going to be good. So I don't know what else to expect, and I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that. So, friends, those are just a few, just a tinge of books that I am looking forward to reading, not only in December, because this year is almost over, child. That's not even on my TBR. I might pick a few that will go on my December TBR, but these are books that I recommend, or even wanted to share with you that may be good to read during this cold season. We got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, probably months of cold season. This is definitely the time to snuggle up with a book, a blanket, and a nice hot something. All right. So I wanted to share those with you guys. Y'all, I am once again wanting to say thank you to everyone for your birthday wishes ahead of time. I am currently finishing up my birthday vlog. So if you would like to see all of the gifts and everything that I got, and even see my celebration on today, going out with my cousin friends, all right, to celebrate my birthday. So I will most likely put a little clip of that in the vlog, okay, for you guys to see. So with that being said, one more thing. Happy birthday to all of the booktubers that are also born in the month of November. If you're viewing this video, happy birthday to you. All right. And I hope that you have been blessed as much as I have. Okay. So until next time, keep being who you are. And that's a star. So keep shining. Bye.